Timeout, overtime, hot take, debate, penalty by so many yaps. We on the way. Unapologetic opinions, guests checking in, so I share on my social. Merch going up, my brother, he going global. Ass hold it down for the ladies, they need their own show. But we right back with it. Time out with Coach Cam, we shouldn't miss a minute. Yup. But we right back with it. Time out with Coach Cam, we shouldn't miss a minute. Yup.
Hey, welcome back. I'm excited this morning. We have another episode of Time Out with Coach Cam. I'm your host, Cam Chancellor, and we have a lot to cover. We will recap the national title game Monday. That was very exciting. And we will also preview the NFL conference title games. The penalty box is back, and we have special guests, college analyst for sports of all sorts, play-by-play announcer for UC basketball, member of the 1992 Final Four team, Terry Nelson. He's going to call in, and he's going to talk about some UC hoops with us and preview the Eastern Carolina game today at 6 p.m. at Fifth Third Arena. Now, of course, I have the lovely Ash Nicole with me. How you doing this morning?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good, and we're going to start with the national title game. That game happened Monday. It was an action-packed game. It was definitely intense. From what I saw, Joe Bengal Burrow.
Yes.
Joe Bengal Burrow showed why he is the man. 31 of 49, 463 yards, 5 touchdowns. Also, the receiving core did their part as well. Jamar Chase with 9 catches, 221 yards, 2 touchdowns. And also you had Justin Jefferson with 9 catches for 106 yards. And then also on the ground game, you had Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He had 16 carries, 110 yards. This offense was explosive all year. And it was a special performance we saw from LSU. It was special because Clemson is one of the better teams of this past decade. And if you look at Clemson, Trevor Lawrence struggled. He struggled some. He had 18 to 37, 234 yards, just not very accurate. That's under 50%. ETN played well. He had 78 yards and a touchdown, 5 catches for 36 yards. Now, I know you wanted Clemson to lose, Ash.
Yes, and they did.
And they did. How
I'm
you
happy.
feel about that? I know you're happy.
Yes, I loved the game. It was great. One thing I really loved is when Trevor scored his touchdown.
Uh-huh.
He did like bye-bye to the crowd.
Ooh.
And Joe never did that.
Nope.
And when he finally got into his rhythm, he did, I'm about to get that ring.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. Like,
yeah, yes.
He was patient.
That is such a good point. And Joe Burrow just got that swag. He got that swag, man, and it's everything that you want in your quarterback. I mean, to be quite honest with you, smooth, it was cool. Even when things weren't going right early, you didn't seem sweat. You knew he was just like, okay, guys, we got this. Let's settle down. Let's get a drive going. Let's get rolling. They had a big second quarter, 21 points in the second quarter that kind of distanced themselves. But and we'll speak on it later. In my first half segment, I'll touch on this. If Joe Burrow is not the guy for you and you're a Bengals fan, I don't know what is. At this point, you're just, clickbaiting for Facebook responses at this point if you don't think Joe Burrow is the guy, because he clearly showed, that he's the number 1 pick in the draft. The Bengals don't need to hesitate to grab this young man. And I'd be careful to put labels on people, but to me, he reminds me of the way he's just so smooth and calm, cool, and collective. He reminds me of a Brady-like. He gives me that vibe of a Brady-like quarterback. And, I'm excited, because I don't think there's no trade that the Bengals will look at and say, I'll accept that for Burrow. It has to be a boatload of stuff. I mean, a boatload that's going to, make sure that we're loaded on picks for years. because right now we need Joe Burrow. We need him not only for a football standpoint, we need him from a fan standpoint to get fans back in the seats. If Joe Burrow's picked, you'll see season ticket sales go up, and we need that. There was games down there where I'm looking at the screen, it couldn't have been more than 25,000 people in that stands. I know they used to give the announced 40,000. That's tickets sold. There wasn't 30,000 people in those stands in the last few games, and it's sad to see because Cincinnati, we love our football, win, lose, or draw, but it's gotten to that point, it's gotten so sad to where, we don't even show up for the games. But, LSU deserved it.
Yes.
They showed they were the best team all season long, 15-0. Can't argue that. Hats off to the Tigers. All right, we're going to move ahead to the NFL. NFL conference title games. We're going to start with Titans and Chiefs. Now, a lot of times you use this term in boxing where they say styles make fights, right? These two, and this is kind of what this is. Styles makes a good fight because you have a team who wants to run the ball, pound the ball, eat clock, manage the game, play good defense. And then you got the Chiefs on the other hand, who can score in a hot minute. Who can Mahomes for Hill for 30, Mahomes for Watkins for 30. Then all of a sudden it's a touchdown. You get 3-4 plays, they in the end zone. So this is gonna be interesting to see. And they played earlier this year. Mm-hmm. They played earlier this year. It was Patrick Mahomes' first game back from injury, and the Titans won that game. They won that game. They was in Tennessee, but they won 35-32. Derrick Henry had 188 yards, 2 touchdowns.
He's a beast.
Man, look, I don't think I've ever seen anything like Derrick Henry. And far as size and speed and strength, he is tossing defenders, tossing them off of them. just mugging them, just get off me. It's ridiculous from what I'm seeing from Derrick Henry. He's really carrying that team. But in the first game, Patrick Mahomes had 446 yards, 3 touchdowns. But you know what I hate? The Chiefs gave the Titans bulletin board material.
Sure did.
Frank Clark comes out and says, Derrick Henry is not that hard to tackle. You don't do stuff like this. Not before a big – because you know what I noticed? People that talk the most, teams that talk the most, they don't win these games. They lose them. And half the time, the person they talk about end up going off. And now you already got somebody that's rolling in Derrick Henry. And now you're going to say he ain't that hard to tackle? In the first game, you gave up 188 yards to him? That's some donkey of the day type stuff right there. That's donkey of the day level. You got to be smarter than this. Don't give no team bulletin board material for one of the biggest games of the year. You don't do that. You don't do that. This team is playing hot, playing good. They believing. But we got to pick the game, Ash. We got to pick it. I'm going to leave it up to you, and I'll pick Titans at Chiefs. Who you got?
Well, last week I picked against the Chiefs. But I don't know. I think the Titans are going to win.
You think the Titans going to win?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Because you know why? The Chiefs always lay an egg right here. They find a way to lay an egg. They had home field advantage last year. Went to overtime. Tom Brady ain't let Patrick Mahomes touch the ball. Game over. That's what happened. Game over. It's something.
I don't think Derrick Henry can be stopped, and I think the Titans will win.
I know that, and that defense is tough, man. They playing good. You know what?
Are you gonna go against me?
I am.
I knew it.
I am. I got to go against you. I got the Chiefs. Breakthrough, Kansas City. Breakthrough. Y'all overdue for a Super Bowl appearance. Y'all haven't been to the Super Bowl since the 60s. Ain't that about right? The city when they played the Packers back in the day? Lynn Dawson was the quarterback and all that good stuff. That's the last time they've been there. It ain't overdue. It's time. It is time. I got the Chiefs winning today, and we're going to see Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. But Ash got the Titans, so we're going to see.
I don't know, because last week I picked.
You picked the Texans.
Yes, and
they started off hot.
Yes, but everyone picked the Chiefs. Everyone. I get it for Andy Reid.
But you know what?
Sheesh.
You know what? It's all right.
But it was a good game. Even though the Texans lost, it was a good game.
Yeah, there was a lot of scoring in that game. That was exciting to watch.
Yes.
But yeah, ain't nothing wrong with picking the Titans here. That's definitely a good pick because I don't blame you at all. Derrick Henry's a monster.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next game, Packers versus 49ers. Now, this is another game like the AFC title game. It's a rematch game.
Mm-hmm.
A rematch game where the 49ers absolutely annihilated the Packers 37-8 on Sunday Night Football. George Kittle was a beast. He had 6 catches, 129 yards, and a score. That front seven generated 5 sacks and had Aaron Rodgers running for his life the whole night. And Aaron Rodgers did not have an Aaron Rodgers-like performance in that game. He did not. He had a musty 104 yards.
Musty?
Yeah, stank. That's not good. That's not good. He can't stink it up like that. He cannot stink it up like that today if they don't have a chance to win. And like I said, it's an un-Aaron Rodgers-like performance. We know what Aaron Rodgers can do. But I'm gonna tell you right now, they're going to win this game, the Packers, if Aaron Jones get going, the running back.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big key for the Packers' success. They have to get Aaron Jones going. Packers and 49ers, Ash.
I'm going to go with the Packers.
You got the Packers. You going with Aaron Rodgers?
Yes, I am.
You going with Aaron Rodgers? You know what?
I'm going with the GOAT.
You know what? All week I had the 49ers. But, I be thinking, I think crazy and outside the box sometimes. I think that NFL like little storylines and historic notes.
Mm-hmm.
Packers versus Chiefs, Super Bowl like 3. And now we can resurrect that with the you know what I mean? And if a little storylines like this, I think the Packers win this game. I'm agreeing with
Thank you.
I'm agreeing with you, and I know we never agree on anything. Never agree on anything with sports, and like nothing. But you know what? I am going to pick the Green Bay Packers in this game today. I think they're going to win. I think they'll be ready this time. This go around, and you know what? When you get deep into the playoffs, experience matters. It matters. Jimmy G, even last week, he ain't do nothing. It was the run game, the defense. You know what I mean? He's going to have to make a couple plays today. He's going to have to make a couple plays, and I don't know if he's going to make them. I don't know if he's going to make them, and I have the Green Bay Packers moving on. So Ash have a Titans versus Packers Super Bowl.
Yes.
I have a Chiefs versus Packers Super Bowl. So we will see today. Both games should be exciting. You have to tune into them, because these conference championship games sometimes be better than the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So you have to tune into these games here. I'm excited for them. We're excited for them. So tune in to those games today. All right. Coming up next, we will have my first half segment right after the timeout. Back from the timeout. I have to go over my first half segment here because it is something that's been killing me all week long. It's been burning me up. It's been really making me upset, to be quite honest with you. Now, this whole narrative that the media is trying to do to the Cincinnati Bengals is dead wrong. It's dead wrong. Everywhere I look, somewhere, some ESPN, Stephen A. Smith and his non-football knowing self. Oh, no, Joe Burrow don't need to go to the Bengals. Like, stop it. I done heard so many people try to push this narrative that Joe Burrow shouldn't go to the Bengals. First off, he's from Ohio, okay? So he's not going to do that, first off. Second off, stop acting like we just graveyard for quarterbacks. We're not. We're not. Now, when Baker Mayfield came out, the number 1 pick in the draft, I didn't hear nobody say, Baker don't go to Cleveland. And let me tell you the statistics here. Since 2000, the Bengals have had 3 starting quarterbacks. That's stability to me. 3 starting quarterbacks since 2000. It's 2020. The Browns. 29 quarterbacks since 2000. So where was the whole should no quarterback want to go to Cleveland a few years ago? When they were winless. Winless. They were one of their last 32 games. But yet, you didn't hear that. I didn't hear that before the draft. I didn't hear none of that. But now I hear, sir, Joe Burrow shouldn't go to the Bengals. Joe Burrow shouldn't do this. And I'm glad he came out and said, him and his dad came out and said, look, whoever draft me, that's where we going. And I'm going to be happy. It's a privilege to play in the NFL. Everybody doesn't get an opportunity to do that. History lesson. We don't ruin quarterbacks. We don't. We honestly put solid teams around them when they're on their rookie deal. Carson Palmer, remember, we were 2-14 when we drafted that man. Within 2 years, we were 11-5 in the playoffs. And we were a cheap shot from Kimo von Oelhoffen away from doing damage in that playoffs. I'm not going to say Super Bowl because that's a lot of steps. But doing some damage, yes, we were going to do some damage. Because we had all the recipes to win. Big play offense. We had a running game. Defense wasn't great, but they got a lot of turnovers. Had the recipe to win. Cheap shot. Stunted Carson's growth. He was Peyton Manning-esque. He was running no huddle, running up to the line, running his own show. It was beautiful to see. We had a franchise quarterback here, and we put the parts around him and team around him to win. So don't give me that we ruined quarterbacks. Oh, we were 4-12 before we got Andy Dalton and A.J. Green, too. How did that work out? Oh, 5 straight playoff appearances. Oh, but we ruined quarterbacks. So, Cincinnati's a graveyard for quarterbacks. Come on. Cardinals ain't won nothing ever. Did I hear anything about Kyler Murray shouldn't go to the Cardinals? Peyton Manning, when he got drafted, you know the Colts had one 10-win season since 1977? But the narrative, the media narrative, they love to hate the Cincinnati. And I get it. We're easy to dog out. I get it. Don't get me wrong. We are easy to dog out. We are easy to disrespect. I'm going to throw that out there. I'm going to be fair. We are. But it shocked me that people that get paid hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars come up with these lazy takes. Because that's what it's been. It's been a lazy take. Because we're going to franchise tag A.J. Green. He's going to be a Bengal next year. Whether it's for 1 year, whether we sign him long term. Next year, he is going to be a Cincinnati Bengal unless someone offers a first-round pick for him. He's going to be a Cincinnati Bengal. So you telling me Joe Burrow, what better situation could he come into? You come into a situation where you could potentially throw to A.J. Green, Tyler Boyd, John Ross, Auden Tate. You got Joe Mixon and Giovanni Bernard in the backfield. Our offensive line gets better with Jonah Williams. What? That's a great position to be in. Who wouldn't want to be in that position? 4 viable options at receiver. We may still sign back Tyler Eifert. So you got a tight end that's capable. He finally got through a season healthy. And we got 2 capable running backs, 2 other running backs who got hurt that we didn't get to see It showed flashes in preseason. Rodney Anderson, Trayvon Williams. So the offense has the capability and has the potential to be great. We just need a quarterback who can go through their reads. And not after the first read, want to tuck and run or tuck and duck his head and take a sack. People want to tell me the offensive line ain't that damn bad. Yes, I said it ain't that damn bad. The first half of the season, the run blocking was terrible. It was. But if you've seen the second half of the season, they fixed that. I give them credit for that. Because Joe Mixon ended up getting 1,000 yards. And he had several 100-yard games in the second half of the season. They fixed the run game. And I have to give credit when it's due. And I dog him out. Bobby Hart had his best stretch of the last 4 games of the season of any point in his career, where he only allowed 2 pressures. So maybe what this offensive line coaching and staff is seeing in Bobby Hart, maybe it's panning out. Maybe they're finding something in him. Because they say he's extremely athletic. So maybe they're figuring out what works for him. And we have to think, Bobby Hart was a 7th round pick. I mean, he's honestly overachieving at this point in his career. Not too many 7th round tackles make it in the NFL. So he's getting better on the fly. And Jonah Williams at left tackle instantly makes you better. It instantly makes you better. He's going to be better than whoever we replace, whether it's Cordy Glenn, who barely wanted to play for us anyway. He milked a concussion for 12 weeks. I mean, that was crazy. But the media narrative, to get back on track, the media narrative here, it has to stop. Cut it with the lazy takes. Because if the Lions had this number 1 pick, we wouldn't hear it. If anybody else had this number 1 pick, we wouldn't hear the disrespect of the organization than what we're getting. And through one point, through 2011 and through 2015, we was the 4th winningest organization during that time frame, during those 5 years. So it hasn't been all bad this decade. So it was a lazy take by the media, and it's a shame because they get paid millions of dollars to do their homework. And the fact that the Browns didn't get this scrutiny and they haven't been to a playoff game since they've been back in existence. They've had 1 winning season in 20 years. Come on. This is a team that had Odell Beckham Jr., Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Jarvis Landry, Njoku, Myles Garrett on defense, Denzel Ward. They didn't make the playoffs. AFC had a down year this year. Couldn't make the playoffs. Never really came close. Nah. So media, back up off my Cincinnati Bengals because it's not right, it's not fair, and it's inaccurate. I think Joe Burrow can come here, and I think he can help us, and I think he can get us back to the playoffs and help the Bengals win their first playoff game in 30 years. All right, coming up next, we will have the penalty box right after the timeout.
We are back from timeout, and we have the penalty box.
Yes, the penalty box is back.
Yeah, so, okay. First up is the Houston Astros and the Boston Red Sox.
Hey, they some dirty dogs, boy.
What is going on?
You know, now the stealing signs thing, that happens. It happens more often than you think. That's almost like illegal recruiting. You just can't get caught. But you wearing buzzers.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And when it vibrates a certain amount of times, you know, this pitch coming and that pitch coming. That's a whole nother level of cheating. A whole nother level of cheating. And I'm going to say this. The punishments that were handed out was not harsh enough. Those games, those tactics affect people's jobs, affect people. It affected clearly the outcome of the game. Mm-hmm. You can't do that. You can't do that. Now that's just wrong. That's flat out wrong. And if you only gonna give out this punishment, a suspension for a year for the managers, a $5 million fine to an owner who is swimming in money that's a billionaire. I need Pete Rose back, and I need him back right now. I need him back right now. If this is gonna be the punishment of that. And the reason why I say that is because, yes, he bet on baseball. Yes, it was wrong. Yes, it's illegal. But he bet on his team to win. It wasn't like he was betting on them to lose.
True.
And tanking. He like, bro, I believe in my squad. Put 50 on it. I need it. Right now, put 50 on my squad. Okay. He's trying to get win still. So he's not compromising the integrity of the game. They are figuring out pitches. You don't understand how valuable that is. Chapman throw 100 miles an hour. Okay? Mm-hmm. So in baseball, when somebody's a very, very hard thrower, you stand far back in the batter's box as you can to get as much time to react as you can. On that home run that was hit by Altuve when Chapman threw a slider, he was up further in the box. He knew that slider was coming. And then as when you cross home plate, you holding your shirt saying, don't rip my shirt off. Like, you can't rip my shirt off because he had a buzzer taped to his shoulder.
What's his name, though?
Jose Altuve.
Okay. We do want to say he did deny it, though.
Yeah, he did not. Of course he is.
Let's put that out there.
His integrity, his career on the line. Right. His credibility is on the line. So everybody gonna now look back at him and say, okay, bro, yeah, you was an all-star and all this, but how long has you had that buzzer? How long have you been cheating? And the Astros players are so just arrogant and just, we'll be back there. Okay, we gonna see. And you know what? They may be back. They're a talented group that don't need this. They don't need this. They're good. And you know what? They probably don't even use it during the regular season. It's when they get to the postseason when they use this BS. And it's sad. It's sad because baseball got a lot going. Baseball got to figure this out. Baseball got a lot going on. And, baseball is a mess right now, and they need to figure this out. They need to figure it out fast and in a hurry.
Okay, up next in the penalty box, we have Kyrie Irving.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah.
Now, I got to talk about Kyrie Irving. That boy, bipolar. I told you.
I'm kind of over him now.
I told you weeks ago about Kyrie Irving. He is a nutcase. Okay, you knew what the circumstance was. You knew that you were signing to Brooklyn. You knew KD was going to be out the whole season.
Right.
You knew and you knew the parts that you was going to have. You knew you was going to have Spencer Dinwiddie, by the way, who led them to a better record when Kyrie Irving was out. But we're not going to touch that. We're not going to touch that. We're not going to touch the fact that they're 5-13 with Kyrie Irving. But, we're not even going to go there.
I mean, we can.
We're not going to go. You know I'm going to go there, really. You know I'm going to go there. He a cancer. You cancer. Just spread around the locker room. How are you going to say that about your how are you going to say we ain't got enough pieces? Bruh, we was doing better without you. Maybe we don't need your piece.
I can say, I think I said this a couple of episodes, but he's not a team player, and he does not know how to lead. Not everybody can be a leader. Not everybody can take that role. That's not him.
You know what? I'm upset that KD even teamed up with this fool. Because the fact is, they both got to be nutcases to even join each other. For real, man, it's like, I like KD a lot, and he's not going to win with Kyrie Irving on his team. Kyrie, like I said, Kyrie is a nutcase. He bipolar. 1 minute he up, 1 minute he's down. And what he said, and then he gonna come out and try to attack the media, like the media did something wrong. Bro, you said this in public. You ain't say this in the locker room. You ain't say this to the GM. You ain't say this to the owner. You said this in an interview on TV for everybody to see. Yeah, we need. It's pretty glaring that we need a couple pieces. It's pretty glaring that we need a couple pieces outside. When KD comes, me, KD, Spencer Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert, DeAndre Jordan, blah, blah. And why are you even including DeAndre Jordan in one of your pieces? That's the problem. You wanted to get your friend paid. He ain't doing. DeAndre Jordan is nothing.
I know that about him.
I know that from the Mavericks. He's nothing. All he is, he an empty stat guy. He'll get you about 15 rebounds, and it look like he's doing something. He's not doing anything. He's not a good rim protector anymore. He's not a good defender anymore. He don't shoot free throws well. He can't score in the paint. What good? I mean, for today's NBA, he's outdated. DeAndre Jordan is outdated. And I don't know. They had a person, or they have a person on their team that does the same thing that DeAndre Jordan does, but better than Jared Allen. And now they're reducing his minutes to play DeAndre Jordan. The Nets have done some stupid things this offseason, and one of them was signing DeAndre Jordan. They shouldn't have signed him back. They signed him to a $20 million deal. It's just stupid. Stupid. But Kyrie, I'm done with him. I've been done with him the way he did the Celtics. Like I said, he just ruined a young group, and he's ruining another young group with the Brooklyn Nets. And like I said, he is a watered-down Allen Iverson. He an AI with no leadership intangibles who can't even get you to, can't get you to the NBA finals. At least AI got you to the finals. He's a watered-down AI who ain't going to get you nowhere as a team leader. And I will be surprised if the Brooklyn Nets even make the damn playoffs.
Ooh. Okay.
That's a hot take right there.
Yes, that is. Okay, so we have the ACC refs again.
AAC. I'm not going to do it to the ACC. I'm going to do the AAC refs.
AAC.
Yes, American Athletic Conference refs. Y'all are sick, and y'all are disgusting, and everybody that's a part of that referee crew for that conference needs to be fired. Now, like immediately. And like I said, it's not even about just UC. It's across the board. It's across the board in the conference. I've seen calls that are just awful, just ripping games from people. Now, y'all know I'm a passionate Bearcat fan. Okay,
no.
so right, exactly. You know I'm a passionate Bearcat fan, obviously. But this call affected the game Thursday night. We're under. It's about 3 minutes and some change left. We're down 4 at this point. Okay, Jaron Cumberland has a straight line to the basket. He goes to the hole. 2 guys break him across the arm. Jay Billis yells on TV, "That's a foul." No foul is. I mean, if you could go back and see this, it's on my Twitter. Who guys that follow me on Twitter? It's on my Twitter. I've liked it. It is absolutely egregious that this foul wasn't called. No foul call. Then Brandon, who doesn't really get into it, because he said, I don't like getting technicals because I don't like giving the other team 2 points. Of course, he's jumping up and down, screaming like, where's the foul? And then you team up. So you compound the bad call with not letting the coach vent for the bad call and team up. It's all time bad. As a referee, when you know you blow one, you let the coach get it off a little bit because you blew one. But the fact that you blew one, and then on top of that, you team up, that's foul and wrong, and something needs to be done. It has to stop. It's across the conference. It has to stop.
Okay, so again, Antonio Brown is in the penalty box. I think he just lives there.
He probably gonna stay in there for a while. I'm just not. He at this point he doesn't even deserve this attention because this is what he wants. He wants this, whether it's good, bad. He just wants some attention.
I get the whole attention thing, but To lose my agent.
It's so bad that Drew Rosenhaus, one of the top dogs in the NFL game, don't even want to deal with you.
That's taking it too far.
Seek counseling. That's deep. And then with the girlfriend with the bag of gummy ding dings. I don't know what's going on here. It's wild. He wild, man. Like I said, man, CTE ran his head. You see it. I'm sorry.
It might be.
This ain't nobody lose. Just acting. This is CTE in full effect. And I wish him well because at this point it's bad. He needs some mental help.
Okay, Odell Beckham Jr.
OBJ. Now I understand what he was trying to do, so I don't want to be like that. Like that father. Don't do that. I don't want to be like that. But you put the whole university at risk, bruh. You can't do that. Just handing out dough, handing out money. And then they say it was fake money, bro. I was like, shoot, I'm a senior. That was cash. You know what I mean? That was real money. Sure, my eligibility done. I could get that money. You know what I mean? But I wish Joe Burrow could have just been a little quiet, Joe Burrow. You could have said it was fake, But you can't do that. And it goes to, back to Odell Beckham Jr. Attention, just like Antonio Brown. Attention. Once again, somehow, some way, he wanted to make it about himself. Acting a fool with the bullhorn. Now he shouldn't have been charged for smacking that cap on the rear end. That was petty.
I thought it was too much. Yeah.
I'm glad that I'm hearing that now the security officer is now dropping the charges, which he needs to. That was ridiculous. You could see that he was clearly just playing like trying to loosen him up, loosen the security. Like come on, man. Like you know what I mean? It wasn't nothing malicious like that for him to try to press charges on him. So I thought that was a little ridiculous. But if you Odell Beckham Jr. at this point, you know how the media is. You're a target. You've made yourself a target. Just sit down, bro. Sit down. Relax. Have your little party. Have your little fun at home. It's okay to go out every once in a while, but he was on something. And it was.
He was feeling good.
No, it wasn't feeling good. It wasn't no alcohol. It wasn't no alcohol.
Oh boy.
He probably he was on a Molly or something.
No comment.
But he was on something. And it wasn't no drinks because I don't nobody acting like that on no drinks. We watch games and have drinks. Ain't nobody acting like that. Now
again, no comment.
Okay, yeah, no comment. You gonna plead the fifth on that, but he was on something. All right, but Odell Beckham, just get out the way, bro. Chill, relax, focus on the season, man. Because anything you do, they gonna make it headline news, and they gonna put you in the news, and it ain't gonna make you look good. All right. Coming up next, we will have our guest, Terry Nelson, join us to talk some UC hoops right after the timeout. Hey, we are back from the timeout, and I am excited to have our guest today, college basketball analyst for Sports of All Sorts, play-by-play announcer for UC basketball, and member of the 1992 Final Four team here at UC. Terry Nelson, what's going on? Good morning.
My man, you give me all kind of accolades.
Yeah, I just show you some love this morning, No, but yeah. So Thursday, we could get right into it. Thursday night, was a tough road loss against Memphis. There, a game that we seemed like we had and grasped there. I know it was a kind of a tough call, that non-call on Jaron Cumberland at the end there. And the technical to follow. But I thought they showed good resolve in battling back. But it's going to be hard to win those road games. When Trey Scott, doesn't give you that offensive performance where you see against Tulsa.
Yeah, Trey had his worst game as a college athlete. He was 0 for 7 in the first half, 0 for 2 from the free throw line. He has missed his last 9 free throws. And then he comes out, he misses the first shot of the second half. Mm-hmm. He gets 2 dunks, and you think, okay, finally we're starting to make a run and we make a push as a team. and then he goes 0 for 4 again down the stretch, finishing 2 of 13. So not getting the production from your 4 spot when they're getting a double-double from their 4 spot really hurts.
Yes.
And the bench did absolutely just took a vacation.
Absolutely there. And I was looking, at some of the production from that we were getting earlier on, and I think the injury hurt, Sorolla. I think it kind of, set him back there because, he, like I said, the bench didn't give us much, and when we put him in, he couldn't guard, those pick and pops there. But everybody I've been seeing on Twitter where people's kind of we used to obviously winning 20, 25 plus 30 games a year, and obviously there's a setback. Can you kind of talk to people off the ledge and kind of let people know, like John Brandon? I think he's the guy for the job. Still, it doesn't move the needle for me. Can you kind of talk to people off the ledge and kind of let us know that we're still in good hands with John Brandon as our head coach?
John's the perfect guy for this job. One, he's recruited really well in a short amount of time. I mean, remember, he took this job over and he only had a couple months to establish a team. So He put some talent together. You look at Zach Harvey and Jeremiah Davenport, they're going to be really good.
Yes.
And you're going to see them probably play good minutes today against East Carolina. So they're going to get more production. Your freshmen always play more at home because, they don't have to worry about the jitters. But I thought both of those guys should have played versus Memphis.
I thought so
because,
too.
In the post-high school prep scene, it was Jeremiah Davenport who took the MVP of the league that they were in with Lester Kenosis that was in that same league.
Wow.
So it was a rivalry that was going on that we should have let explore. So Jeremiah, because of the amount of guards that we have, is playing more of the stretch 4, where he's actually more of a 3. But if you got smaller guards like Javen Cumberland that can't get his shot off, and you're not making shots, Davenport's a shot maker.
Yeah.
So he should get more minutes. But overall, John Brandon is a fantastic coach. I mean, he relies heavily on analytics. Mm-hmm. He knows what he's doing. It's just a matter of building the depth. This is not his team. And everybody keeps saying, well, Mick had this and he left the team and all they had to do is just do what Jaron wants them to do. That's just not how you build a program. When Mick left, 7 players left. And a lot of those guys had to leave because the players that Cronin recruited were half-court zone players. And there is a difference. It's just like when you got Andy Reid as your coach and all you have is a bunch of tight ends and running backs. It's like, no, that's not how I want to play. I got a fantastic quarterback. I want to air this thing out. We need to get some speed. We need to get speed at the running back, at the receiver, at the tight end. We need to change our dynamic. So what he does is, he's got great recruiting class coming in.
Yes.
He knows how to coach defense. We're still top defensive team in the league. So when you look at what's happening, there's a lot of basketball to be played. We look well in certain games, but then on the road, your stars have to show up.
Yes.
So Jaron showed up. Trey didn't show up. Chris Bolt had moments, but for the first time, he really got a chance to see what it's like to play against an NBA-style big. Actually, for the second time, we actually played against Iowa with McDonald. So we got guys that are figuring this thing out on the fly, and we got guys that last year were not stars coming into new roles, and every game they're getting better. The problem is, over the last 2 years, we haven't lost more than 5 games.
Yep.
And so Trey Scott, Cumberland, I wouldn't even say Mamadou, but Trey Scott and Cumberland in particular, those two take it the hardest because they're the leader, and Trey more than Cumberland. Cumberland leads more by play on the court. Trey is the vocal one. He graduated already. He's nearly at his master's degree level. He is the senior on the team. Many NBA scouts love his potential because he can do it all. He's a multi-position player. But here's a stat for you. We're undefeated when Trey Scott scores in double figures.
Yep.
So when he doesn't score in double figures, it puts a lot of pressure on us because, yes, he's going to get us 9 rebounds. He's going to go out and scrap. He's one of the best in the conference, 4th in the conference in rebounding. But when he doesn't give us offensive production, then it tells Jaren he's got to shoot more. It tells guys off the bench, if you don't give us any production, we're not going to be very good. And Trey can't afford that, and he knows these numbers. So after the game, he really took it hard because I had just talked to him in the pregame, and he was stretching and we were walking around, and I told him, I said, hey, we're undefeated when you're scoring double figures. He goes, yeah, man, one of the coaches told me that. He goes, yeah, I'm going to do this, and he was real excited. And then he came out and had the worst game of his career. So it's cyclical, and the fans are Cincinnati fans, which means they live and die by every game.
Yep.
So
we do.
So UC will come out today, and they will have a redemption effort, and they will have just balls out, diving on the floor, dunks, threes. The energy will be out of the building, and people will feel good about this team again after today.
Yeah, and I think so as well. Like I said, I feel good. Like I said, I feel like John Brandon is the right guy for the job. It's like, I kind of described it as, you've been riding on training wheels for almost 30 years.
Right.
You've been playing the same style basketball for 30 years, and we're changing everything completely. It's like a complete 360, and
that's right.
It's going to take time, because he has parts that that necessarily doesn't fit the way he wants to play, and he is he's tried to compromise. I've seen it. I've seen him seen him do different things on offense. Absolutely. That shows you that he's trying to fit to his personnel, that he's not trying to fit that, square peg into a round hole. So, I see it. I see it though. So I know he's the right guy for the job. We do have East Carolina today, and a lot of people will, consider like, okay, East Carolina, old Conference USA, will beat up on them, but they have a really good player in Jaden Gardner. Can you tell us a little bit about him?
He's a bull. I mean, that dude gets you buckets. I mean, he's 6'7", 235 pounds, sophomore out of Wake Forest, North Carolina, and Wake Forest let him go. Thought he was too small to play in the ACC as a big. North Carolina let him go. NC State let him go. Duke let him go. And what does he do as a freshman? When he comes into the conference as a freshman and averages 20 points and 9 rebounds as a freshman. I mean, the guy is absolutely a bull. He has 9 double-doubles on the year, actually 6 double-doubles on the year. And he's averaging 21 points, 9 rebounds with 50 offensive rebounds. Think about that. He's powerful. I played at 6'6", 215, and then by the time the season was over, I was maybe 220. He's 6'7", 235, and all of that is in his lower body. He had a strong upper body, but his lower body is like, you can't root me out.
Yep.
So he is a guy that can cause havoc on his own. Their only problem is they're just no good away from home.
Yeah.
They're 0-4, and we can say the same thing.
Yeah, that's true.
We're not different, but they're 0-4 away from home. They're 1-2 in neutral sites. At home, they're 7-3. They're pretty good, and we got to go there in several weeks. But I mean, this is a team. It starts and ends with Jaden Gardner, and people will say, "Well, what are you talking about?" Well, they got some pit bulls at the guard position. Tyree Jackson, he's 6'2", 215.
Yeah,
out of Tifton, Georgia. And these guys are solid. They're strong. They'll shoot some threes. That's not necessarily their game. They like to bull their way to the hole. And when they do that, they force this suction action where your bigs are always trying to block their shots because they will contest you. They will go up and try to finish around the basket. And when you do that, you free up rebounding lanes for Jaden. And that's how Jaden goes in there and they start housing guys. And he pushes guys around. So Trey Scott's got his work cut out because there's a lot of guys. Trey said he wanted to get the rebounding record this year. Well, it's going to be a tough task to get that, but he's going to have and win these individual battles.
Yeah,
Dick Gardner is going to be his assignment, and if he doesn't have his all-out effort, one of his best efforts against Jaden Gardner, you're going to see it. And sometimes Trey struggles with guys that have the same energy. You hear this all the time with. People always say, all right, well, bring that same energy. Well, this guy's going to bring that same energy. And if Trey ain't bringing that same energy, watch out.
Oh, yep. And, and like I said, I think we do, win today and get back on track there and get back
Hold
on
on,
the
let me say something too.
Go ahead.
You mentioned about coaching. You've seen him sacrificing a lot.
Yeah.
It's exactly what he has done. I mean, he has sacrificed a whole lot.
Yeah, I see it, man.
I mean, think about what he does. He likes to play breakneck speed.
Yes.
He likes to go all out and do what he does.
Yes.
And he can't do that right now because Jaron wants to ball a lot on the fast break.
Yep.
And if Jaron's out on a steal, he's freight train. He's going full speed ahead. He's going to run you over at the basket. He don't care if he see a guy standing there taking a charge.
Yep.
And that sometimes, just drives me crazy because he don't see the guy. I'm like, Jaron, you got a Euro step. You got to do something at the end.
Yep.
You just can't throw your body in the guys and all the time. But at other times, Jaron likes to hold it up and go at a slower tempo. And Micah Adams-Wood likes to dribble the ball and survey the lane as he's coming up, trying to figure out where everybody is and all that stuff. And, they got a new guy coming in next year who – fastest point guard in high school.
Yeah, Mike
He's going to catch
Saunders.
it and go all the way to the basket.
Yes, Mike
so,
Saunders.
And so if he doesn't pick up his dribble, he's going to dribble all the way out and put pressure on you to adjust your defense amoeba style to wherever he is. He's not going to walk it up and wait. Yeah. And that's how Brandon wants to play.
Yeah.
He wants to play when that ball goes through, made or miss. He wants you to put pressure on the defense.
Yeah.
He wants you to go all out and make them run. So it's not just about getting layups. It's about forcing them to adjust, get fatigued, have to take out some of their best players to go into the bench. That's what hurt us in Memphis. We had to take out our best players, and after we made the run to go up by one, and the bench killed us. So that's the kind of pressure he wants. We do that a lot at home, but on the road, we are a totally different team. And so Brandon had to adjust. He has to adjust running certain things for Jaron because Jaron a lot of times can't find his own shot. He needs the ball in his hands. He doesn't cut well without the basketball. He doesn't always go to offensive rebound. He should be affecting the game more in steals and possession. He's become a very good individual defender because he likes taking on challenges. But when the ball goes away from him, he'll give up an offensive rebound because he's watching the ball, just like Trey would every once in a while. They're ball watching.
Yeah.
And they're expecting to be in like the zone. In the zone, it was one of the – Mick Cronin has one of the unique defenses in all of college basketball where the wings sort of face each other.
Yep.
And they don't necessarily look at anybody on the baseline. I'm looking at Trey on the other side. If I'm a wing player, I'm looking at who's going on his side, and he's looking at who's going on my side. And so every once in a while, you'll see Trey and Jaron playing man-to-man, and they're opened up, not even looking at their guy, and their guy backdoor cuts for a layup. And you're like, what are you doing? And you realize when you talk to Coach Brandon, like before we're doing the post-game radio show, he's saying he's got so many habits that he's still trying to get out of Trey and Jaron. Those guys like to open their hips and let guys go backdoor because they think they're in zone still when they're on defense. It's just it's 3 to 4 years of stuff that's been pounding into him. So he's trying to break old habits. He is, he is acquiescing to the talent that he has on his team. But make no mistakes about it. Next year he has big guards that are coming in. He's still got 2 scholarships available. One will go towards a fifth-year grad transfer, and he's still looking for somebody else. But he's a coach that wants 5 scorers on the floor at all times. So you can't double team. And when you can't double team, like he says, his system is elite because they're going to pick you up full court. Everybody's going to be a threat on the floor. Mm-hmm. You may have 5 or 6, 7 guys in double figures or 7 to 8 and close to double figures if they're not in double figures. And those kind of teams are hard to guard in big games, and they're hard to guard in tournament times. He doesn't want to switch styles. He wants to press from the game start to the game end, and he wants to put pressure on you. And he can't do that if the bench is not giving him production.
Yep. Exactly. And you know, and like I said, you have to have depth to be able to pick up 94 feet and, you know, play fast, you know, for 40 minutes. And, you know, and like I said, we just don't have that right now, but it's coming. Like you said, you know, that point guard Mike Saunders Jr., just seeing some of his highlights, it definitely excites me because I know it's the type of basketball that John Brennan wants to play there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm definitely excited about the future here. And like I said, I know John Brennan's the guy. But Terry, I do appreciate you, you know, waking up early for me, you know, compromising your sleep and speaking with me. I do appreciate it, man.
Cam, anything for you, brother.
All right, I appreciate it. All right, that is it. We have had a wonderful show, Time Out with Coach Cam. It's been real. We out.
Time out, overtime, hot take, debate, penalty by so many options. We on the way, unapologetic opinions, guests checking in, so I share on my social. Merch going up, my brother he going global. Ass hold it down for the ladies, they need their own show. But we right back with it. Time out with Coach Cam, we shouldn't miss a minute. Yup. But we right back with it. Time out with Coach Cam, we shouldn't miss a minute. Yup.